guys, I wanted to go over this a little bit more based on some of the answers that I'm getting. So when you're finding your perimeter, you've got to remember that it's 2 times length plus 2 times width. Now let's look at that first problem. 7 feet 3 inches by 8 feet. Length is always the wider one. So that's that, but it doesn't really matter. Now there are 2 ways to do this. You can either convert it all to inches and then convert it back to feet and inches, or start with your fraction. So I'm going to show you first with the converting to inches. Okay. So to convert to inches, I know there are 12 inches in a foot, so I'm going to say 12 times 7. And then I'm going to need it over here too, 12 times 8. 14, 8, and then there were 3 more. Plus 3, 87. 6, 8, 9. So we're going to say using this formula here, we're going to say 96 times 2 plus 87 times 2. Okay. 14, 16, 17. 12, 18, 19. And notice I'm not erasing any of my work because I can build on it, plus I can go back and see if I make a mistake where that mistake got made. So plus 174, 6, 6. All right, so right now I'm at 366 inches, but I don't need it left in inches. I need it changed back to feet. So I'm going to say 366 divided by 12. 3, 0 with a remainder of 6/12. That can go and get smaller. So 1/2. So my answer is 30.5 feet. And if you look, that's how they worked it out. But that's the answer they got, but that's not how they worked it out. Let me show you how they worked it out. And that's one way. Perfectly okay. And honestly, it's not really any more or less work. It's just what's easier for your brain to wrap around. Okay, so let's go back. 7 feet 3 inches by 8 feet. Now remember I talked about with fractions, and I just kind of brushed it off saying, hey, we know these fractions or we learn them as we get older, and that's true. Like, I can look at that and I know that's 1/4, but I realized I didn't do a very good job explaining how to do that. So let's say we want to go the fraction route. So we've got 7. That's 3 out of 12 inches, which of course is 7 1/4 by 8 feet. So you're going to multiply this by 2. 28 29/4 plus 8 times 2, which we know is 16. Let's look. We can make that smaller. So 29 halves plus 16. What did I do wrong? Oh no, I see what I'm doing. Sorry. So now I'm going to make this a proper fraction. 2 goes into that 14 times with 1 remainder of 2 plus 16. So now I can just add it like this. 30 and a half. And you got the very same answer. It really depends on which is easier for you. For me, it's easier to avoid fractions. I do better with multiplication, division than fractions, but honestly, this was much easier. But did you see how I got stopped right there? I blanked. I have to work a lot harder on fractions than the others. But if fractions are easier for you, do it this way. It doesn't matter. It came up with the same answer both ways.